Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of the week 6 lecture. Let's get started. Lots of objectives here. Inserting records into a database table, using like and not like, sorting query results, limiting query results, updating data, deleting data, and using functions. Now let's talk about like and not like, and it'll become clear and very evident in the two statements below what like and not like can do, especially like for now. But select all columns from the table users where the last name is equal to Simpson. Okay, that will find all of the rows, 0 or more, right? May find 0. Where the last name is equal to Simpson in the users table. Okay, this is the SQL. Now, don't worry about PHP and all that stuff right now. I'm just trying to teach you how to use SQL to query a database such that you can then package it up with some PHP and display the results on a web page. The next statement says select all columns from users where the last name is like Smith. Okay, like Smith. Okay. So it'll find Smith, Smithsonian, anything that's like that. That percent sign on the end is kind of like a wildcard. Okay, so it'll match anything that starts with Smith and has some other ending. The underscore character can be used in a like in a like clause there to represent a single letter, right? So if you wanted to search for all of the names in the table that were underscore for any letter, R-U-C-E, right? So Bruce, Truce, Druce, whatever you want, but it has to match any letter and then R-U-C-E, okay? So yeah, let's go on. So like and not like, select first name and last name, those two columns. So the data that comes back is going to be those two columns from, guess what? I forgot a table name here. Let me fix that. From students. Let's just say that. Students. And I'll update the slides in Canvas. Have no fear. Let me carry on here. Okay, so select first name and last name, those two columns, right? Just those two columns, okay, will be returned, at least the data for, from the students table where the email field is not like %@clark.edu. So can you think about what that's going to do? It's going to give you all of the first and last names from the students table that don't have clark.edu email addresses. How about that? Okay. Try to avoid using like and not like, as they don't use indexes. I'm just saying. And we'll learn more about indexes over time, okay? So again, they're there, but when you start dealing with large data sets, the database engine is going to have to work a lot harder, okay? So select star from users where last name like underscore Smith, okay? What's that going to do? That's going to find any names, any of the last names that have underscore any character SMITH. Okay. Now I really don't know of any names like that, but for an example here, it works fine. Sorting query results. So when you query, right, the database engine, you can tell it to deliver you the results sorted a certain way. Okay, so here we're saying in the first one, select star from a table name, order by, and then the column. Okay, that's the default syntax. Now, for instance, on the next one, you could say select star from table name, order by email, right? So that'll order the results by the email column. The next one, select star from table name, order by first name, and then last name. Okay, pretty neat, right? The next one, select star from table name, order by last name ascending. So the results will be ordered in ascending order. And you'll see that actually when you go over the Lab 8. When you go over the Lab 8 preview video that I created for you. Okay. Select asterisk from table name, order by last name ascending, first name ascending. Okay. So you could actually apply ascending or descending to a specific column. or multiple columns. The next one, select star from table name order by last name descending. Okay, so it'll start with Z's and Y's, X's, etc. Select star from table name order by last name descending and first name descending. Okay, got it? You could do last name ascending and first name descending, right? You could do that. Wow, there's so many things you could do. So select star from table name where last name not equal to Smith, order by last name ascending. So that's going to select from the table, right, that you give it, and find all the columns, right? It's going to give you all the columns back that are in that table where the last name is not equal to Smith, and it's going to order the results in ascending order by last name. Okay. Next, limiting query results. Select star from table name limit and then a number. So in the next one, select star from table name limit 42. So if there's a million results, this is saying just give me 42. Give me the first 42. Okay. Next one, select star from table name limit x comma y. Okay. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Why would you want to limit by two things? What do you think that means? Select star from table name limit x comma y. So the next one says select star from table name limit 10 to 104. So do you hear what I said? From 10 to 104. How about that? Think about it. Pretty neat stuff. Okay. Always place the limit keyword at the end of your SQL statement. In fact, part of Lab 8 in the Lab 8 overview video, you're going to have to use limit and ascending and descending. Okay. By the way, I think I cover it here, so we'll go over it. Updating data. Now, I'm not going to have you do any work on updating or inserting data this week. I'm going to save it for week 7. But update table name set column name equals some value. Okay. So think about a form where you present the user with a record that was already in the students table and you were editing it. You could actually update a specific record by changing one or more values in that record. That's how you perform updates. And maybe you heard me say CRUD before. In this class, I'm going to teach you how to create, read, update, and delete data, okay, in a database. And so far, you've done the R, the read, right? And next week, in week number 7, we're going to be creating, updating, and deleting. We're going to finish the CRUD, or the CUD, okay? So update, table name, set column 1 equals some value, comma, column 2 equals some value, and then column 3 equals some value, etc. That's the syntax when you need to update multiple columns. Now, I want to tell you that all of the SQL stuff is something you'll be able to build as a string in PHP that you can then feed to one of the MySQLi, right? The MySQLi improved database connection object to do certain things. So the last line there says update users, set email to belgort@clark.edu where user ID equals 42, right? So that's going to set the email address for the record in the database that has a user ID of 42. Now, I ask you a question at the bottom. How could you use limit here? Why would you use it? Well, maybe there's only one record with user ID equals 42. So if you add to the very end after 42 limit space 1, it will enforce and ensure that only one record gets updated. Okay? So think about that. Okay, deleting data. Delete from table name. That's going to be the base syntax. You've been warned. This will delete all the data from the table, so just don't do that, okay? Delete from table name where some condition is true. That's your friend. That's what you want. So the line below, delete from users where user ID equals 8, limit 1, right? You only want to ensure that it finds user ID equals 8 and limit the number of deletions to 1. Powerful stuff, right? Aliases, okay? Don't mind that thing that says see page 153 in the textbook. In fact, let me go and try to edit. Come on, baby. Come on. Aliases. Let me fix this and I'll re-upload it to Canvas, okay? Come on. So let's get rid of that bullet. Yay. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's go back. Sorry about that. Somebody had told me that in one of the other weeks I also had page numbers in there. Aliases allow you to make long field names shorter within a query. So here's an example. Select first name as name, where name equals Sam. So I'm saying first name as name. So for now on, in the rest of the query, I don't have to type first underscore name. I could just say, as we did here, name. Okay, so that's a very simple alias. And you'll see as we get further on down where you'll have multiple databases and table names and just a lot of long things, you can create aliases that make things shorter. Okay, using functions, select and then some function and a column name from table name. Okay, so what this does is allow you to use, like, look at the last line. It says select upper name, first name from users, right? So that's going to, convert the first name column to uppercase, okay? So you have all these functions. In fact, I think I have a list here. Concatenate, concat, WS, length, left, right, trim, upper, lower, replace, substring, okay? So you can do a lot of manipulations. If you were in my Python class, we used a lot of these, right? And you can go look them up on the MySQL site, okay? Concat, WS, all these things, okay? Numeric functions, absolute value, ceiling, floor, format, mod, right? Pow for power, random, round, sort, so many different things, okay? I want you to be aware of them. I'm not expecting you to memorize or be able to utilize them, but just know that you can go ape crap crazy, and you can create some really powerful code to select and modify data with SQL. Okay. Same thing with date and time functions. There's a whole list, and again, they're all documented on the MySQL site. Date functions. Select date, registration date, as date. Okay, there we're using our alias. From users, order by registration date, descending, limit 1. Okay, I think you're starting to be able to pick this up. I can see your faces. I can see your head nodding up and down just like it's doing now, okay? Holding that coffee cup saying, why does he talk so fast? I wish he'd talk slower, okay? So lots and lots of functions, lots of date functions. And that's all I have for part 2, okay? So let me just go back here. Let me see if I got it up here. Yeah, so here is week 6 in Canvas, or at least the way it stands right now, okay? So I want you to just poke around the MySQL site, the php.net site. I have you look at some of the MySQLi database driver stuff. I have the slides from the last video and this one. I'll fix it with the changes I just made. Lecture 1. Lecture 2 is the one I'm recording right now. Okay. And then I have, and then your Alexa kicks in because it thought I said Alexa. Okay. Then I have using PHP and MySQL to build a select tag. Check that one out because that uses a database table. Lab 8 walkthrough. So I gave you some tips and tricks and some hints in here. I gave you the code for the MySQL build a select tag thing right here. No quiz this week. Yay! How about that? And then, of course, Lab 8. Okay? So if you have any questions, let me know. Lots and lots of things to cover in here. So this week I want you to just get good at select statements. Lab 8 is going to help you with that. Doesn't have that much logic in it, using ifs and stuff like that. But you are going to have to post a form and check to see if the request method is post. So if you remember from like week 2 or 3 with the sticky form stuff and single page forms, actually, that's what you want, okay? So thanks for watching, and I would watch this video again, go over the stuff, and if you have any questions, let me know. And the secret code word for this video is the Space Needle. Space Needle. So if you watch this and Slack me the secret code word Space Needle, brownie points will be acknowledged.